Let's take a look at the final exam for this week. Here's the information. This is from our homepage. I moved it here to the homepage. Everything can be found in the modules also. But I want to make sure we're clear here. I have some sample problems that you're going to want to go through after you finish all your work, and then some sample answers. This is what I'll go over at the review. We'll start with these questions here. The final exam is 2 parts. You have the 15 multiple choice, explain your answers, or section. You have an hour and a half to that. That would be part 1. Once that's done, you move on to part 2, which is 5 written response questions. Now, I've outlined for each of the sections the kind of material you're expected to know. So the exam focuses on Unit 3 and 4, but there are, of course, some things that we assume you know: distribution, shape, center, right? So some of the carryover, but there won't be specific problems from Unit 1 and 2, just stuff that you should know, and that's in the list here. So make sure you review that and understand what's on the final exam, but it's an emphasis of Unit 3 and 4. The written response questions is an emphasis on Unit 4, the last part of the course. The 5 steps, and this is the potential stuff that you would have to do for those 5 written response questions, which you would upload as a PDF. Of course, again, the logistics, I've announced that before, but you have that 30-hour window from 6 a.m. to noon the next day, 12 o'clock, high noon. Again, you may use your notes. There's information here what you can't use: other people, discussion boards, instructors, right, friends? And you may not search the web for answers. Just use the materials you have for the exam. So those are the 2 parts of the exam. Additionally, just to make sure we're on the same page, again, I'll have this available. It's here now. You can't access it. But I want to highlight on part 2. Let's see, you have the final exam assignment, which will open up. This is just an outline of all the material. These and this is where you're going to submit your written work right here, this section here. Part 1 will have your multiple choice explain your answer section, and then part 2 is the written response. I'm going to open it up just to show you the top part. There we go. Now, what's going to happen is you have, again, 5 questions all down here. I'm going to go, I maybe went, there we go. 5 questions here. What you're going to be given, though, is a data set for you to reference. You're not going to have to run tests. The test will be run for you, but just so that you can help you understand the data set. So a data set will open up for you in StatCrunch. You'll be allowed to open up another window, and you'll have the data here. And then these are the variables from the data right here. So this is what we'll be using to answer some questions below. So I just want to make sure you understand that. So you will be using this data set to answer questions for part 2. And then once you're done with part 2, you're writing your stuff, you have 2.5 time limit, you will submit here in the final exam assignment page here. This is where you submit. And this has the instructions, as this video I'm talking about now in here, and then just the same instructions that we were talking about here. It also has the rubric for the written part. But that's it. If you have any questions, of course, get a hold of me.